Yo, what's up? Welcome to KFL tonight. KFL tonight on Monday evening. Welcome. You know me. I'll be your host, Jigmaster, aka Robert Brown. Um, we're gonna talk a lot of stuff tonight. We're gonna recap a super fun, super incredible, super uh, just amazing week one of KFL. We're gonna bring on the players of the week. We're gonna talk about the scores. We got a special guest star coming on later on. Just and then we're gonna have a couple beverages. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk fishing. We're gonna talk new things to the KFL. We're gonna talk about where the KFL is going. We're just gonna talk, man. Y'all ready to talk? Y'all ready to talk? I see in the comments we got Ty Patrick. What's up, man? Mr. TP. Okay, I see you, Ty Pete. What up, Toby? Toby, what's going on, man? Big Gun in the comments. Big Gun Bobby Moore. Everybody knows him. He's the one with the KFL shaving the back of his head. Thinking I should do that. What y'all think? Should I get KFL shaving the back of my head? Shave my head and just leave KFL in the back of my head with the hair. I know y'all gonna say no. Whether you say yes or no, it don't matter. My wife won't let that happen. All right. She's like, she's probably 30 feet in front of me right now. She's looking. She's like, nah, you ain't gonna do no stupid like that. But anyway, did y'all hear the news? I don't know how many of y'all missed Mr. Greg Nosar coming on earlier, but KFL has a new sponsor, major sponsor, Tour Stafford, Virginia, man. That's huge. Hey, man, I'm just telling y'all, KFL is making moves. This is something special. This is the first year of something super special. The beginning of it's just gonna get better. And every last one of y'all are gonna make it better. Who else we got? We got Matt Conant. What's up? The Triple Crown guy. He's with us. We got Mr. Adam Eastlack. What's good? Lisa's up. Lisa, you good, man? Lisa, I know you was having a couple beers earlier. I know you kind of like a lightweight. I'm surprised you're awake right now. I know it's only like 6 o'clock where you're at. Who else we got? Mr. Steve O'Brien, the black bearded assassin. Everybody involved with KFL. You know what I'm saying? I would appreciate it if you guys would, hashtag Tour Stafford. Let's blow them up. I mean, them coming on board is huge. It's huge. The things they do for, that area up in Virginia, they're further north for me. They're up near the DC metro area of, just on the Virginia side. But they do a lot of great things. They have a lot of great discounts. Y'all should check them out, Tour Stafford. Toby, let me show you this comment from Toby. Mr. Ball Busting Steve is what he calls him. Man, I think my wife got the heater on hell. Man, it is hot in here. Hot. Daniel Perry, what's going on, man? So what an amazing opening week for the KFL. From the matchup of the week, which if you don't agree with me it being the matchup of the week, you're crazy. The Mass Maulers and the Rebels. Just ridiculous. Let me see if I got that clip from Mr. Christopher Catucci catching that fish just a little bit too early.
Yes! That's the one! Oh, no!
That's heartbreak. Actually, that was the one. So what's funny about it, that was the one he hooked actually during actual competition time. And it was, I don't know if you saw it, but that was definitely a 20-inch class fish. And she got off It's heartbreak. But you know what? Like the next few casts is when I think this is the one. Hopefully I'm right.
Oh, I gotta take a picture.
Oh, that picture was taken, unfortunately, I think it was 43 seconds late. 43 seconds late. My God. In the last 5 minutes, he had 2 opportunities. I mean, that's the drama that we're bringing to you guys live. I'm sorry, you guys and gals, everybody out there in KFL land. We're bringing to y'all live. And we're bringing to more people on the Pride Outdoor Network. Again, if you haven't done it, please, please, please spread the word about the Pride Outdoor Network. Hashtag Pride Outdoor Network on your Instagrams, Facebook. Download it on your Roku TV or your Amazon Fire on your phones, which is in your app stores. Download it, tell your friends about it, tell the people about it. I'll say once again, the numbers we had was 35,000 people watching at the time, and later on, I'm going to get actually more exact numbers from, the boss himself, Mr. Greg Nosar. It's awesome. 35,000 people plus watching you guys, watching you women, watching you anglers pull fish, lose fish, the drama that we bring to it, all of it. No, I'm sorry, not that we bring to it, but the drama that's out there. That's what they're saying. It was exciting being on this side, this camera side of it. And then this next week, too, I get to be on the other side of it. Week 2 is my opening weekend or opening night for the Norfolk Privateers. And we will be out there making it do what it do. We're going up against the Carolina Casters. But anyway, that's enough of me. I guess y'all looking at me running my mouth, man. I'm just excited. I'm excited about it. I'm just excited about the KFL, and the opening weekend was perfect. The matchup that happened there was perfect. We're going to bring on these 2 all-stars, Mr. Jim Louvier and Mr. Adam Patron, the 2 guys who were chosen to be Week 1's Players of the Week. If you missed what they did, you need to look. We'll talk about it. Obviously, I'm bringing them on, so we're going to talk about it. But if you have comments, you have questions, anything like that, make sure you put them in those comments section, man. I'll make sure to bring it to these guys. I want the hard questions for these guys. But we're gonna bring them in right now. Here we got Mr. Jim Louvier. What's going on, Jim?
It's going great. Getting ready for the weekend.
Getting ready for the weekend? You ready for that next matchup?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How long did it take us to get your last name right? I mean, last name correct.
Actually, you still said it wrong.
Oh my God. All right. So right now, everybody watching, we're going to get the actual way to say it so I don't screw it up anymore.
So y'all got Josh Solaire's name right.
Mm-hmm.
I-E-R-E, and mine is Louvier, spelled I-E-R-E, just like Mr. Solaire.
So Louvier.
Correct.
All right. Y'all heard me, right? I got it. Louvier.
But I don't get offended. It's been pronounced incorrectly so many times in my life, I don't even really pay attention anymore.
Well, that's okay, Jim. Here at KFL, we like to get things right. All right. So from henceforth, it's Jim Louvier. All right. Greg, get it right. Marcus Coates, get it right. Mr. Ty Patrick, y'all get it right. Everybody, all the broadcasters, y'all better get it right. All right. Because if you don't have it right, you're gonna have to answer to me. And you have to answer to Jim after that. Because I just promised him we're gonna get it right. So welcome to the broadcast, man. I was about to bring Adam on, and Adam seems like he's in a bad we got him back, so maybe we're gonna try to bring him on. Adam Patron, what's going on, man? Uh-oh. Adam. Oh, Adam is gone. So it's gonna be me and Jim. Jim, what a performance you put on, bro. What a performance, man.
It was interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, you heard this is the same man we talked before prior to the season starting. He was like just 22s. So if you missed what he did, what was it? 192 and a quarter?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
192 and a quarter inches he put up himself. What was your team's total?
192 and a quarter.
Oh, okay. I just, I'm not very good at math. I went to public school in Florida. So, sometimes I mess it up, but you put up 192 and a quarter. Your team's total was 192 and a quarter. So you did it for the squad, huh?
Well, Mark had a fish on the board. I couldn't quite butt Mark's fish off the board.
So you Captain Clapback got to keep one fish on the board.
Yeah, he put the first one on, and my mission was to punch it off, and I just didn't quite get there.
So we're gonna bring. We got Adam. Looks like he's back up with us, so we're gonna try to get him back in here.
Hey, what's going on?
AP, you can hear me this time?
Yeah, I got you this time.
Okay, AP's got me this time. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. How you liking that New York weather?
Getting used to it. I mean, I'm in a sweatshirt right now.
Yeah. What's the temperature right now?
Right now, I think it's like 67.
67. I wish it was 67 here. What's the temp you got down there, Jim?
95.
What time is it?
6 in the evening.
6 in the evening. It's 95 degrees.
We used to go to the
Don't miss
baseball
that.
and make bets as to when it would get below 100, like in August.
Whew. And Jim's probably still throwing up 23s and 24s and 100 degrees.
I caught a 23 this weekend.
Just a 23. He forgot to say just a 23. People. So Adam, man, Jim did an amazing thing. He put up 192 and a quarter inches himself on Jim, how many times would you say you fished that lake?
6.
6 times. 6 times. How many of those times were practice for the KFL?
Well, the first 5.
So the first 5. So in practice for the KFL and the KFL actual matchup, this young man figured out how to put up 192 and a quarter inches for his team on best 10 fish. People, best 10 fish, not best 5. That's like impossible. I don't think bass get that big. Well, Jim probably catches them that big. He probably catches 34-inch bass, but that's amazing. And let me tell you about the guy on the other side of him, Mr. Adam Patron. Active duty Army, correct?
Correct.
Active duty Army. He got orders to change duty stations and go to New York and move to New York. How long have you been in New York, Adam?
Oh, I think it's about 5 days, 6 days total now.
About 5-6 days total. It just so happened he was in contact with the Bronzebacks, right?
No, Bay State Attack.
Bay State Attack. My correction, my bad. Bay State Attack. He was in contact with those guys, and Greg was able to make a big boss decision and let Adam join that team based off of the fact that we can't do anything about military orders. Me being active duty, man, I understand it. It can just happen at any time. And
I was looking forward to being on the Louisiana Hurricanes. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, that's a solid team down there.
Yep, definitely is. Definitely is. And he got sent to New York, man, and joined Bay State Attack. How long have you been on the team, Adam?
They called me. They got a hold of me Thursday night and said, "Can you fish Saturday?"
Got a hold of him, people today. I don't know if you know what today is. I don't know how many of you people just waking up, how many y'all had, how many drinks you done had or whatever. But today's Monday. They got a hold of him on Thursday night, and he fished in the tournament on Saturday. And how many inches did you put up?
Oh, I think it was 172.
No, I mean you ain't got to be modest. You ain't got to be modest. You know? Don't short sell yourself. You know, it was a. I'm gonna look because I want to be absolutely correct. And
So while you look, I'm not too sure that his 172 is not more impressive than my 192.
So that's why we're talking about it, Jim. 172 and 3/4. He shorted himself 3/4, 3/4 of an inch. And when was the last time you went smallmouth fishing?
Last time I went smallmouth fishing was when I was in high school on the Umpqua River in Oregon.
All right, so we don't want to date you. We don't want people to know. So
20 years ago.
This was a very long time ago, people. Very long time ago. And this man went up there first time on the Susquehanna.
First time river fishing in a kayak.
First time river fishing in a kayak. Puts up 172 and 3/4 inches of smallmouth bass.
Yeah, it came out to 91.5 for my best 5.
Best 5, 91.5 on a body of water. I think you practiced on it for what, 2 hours? 3 hours?
I had 3 hours. Yeah.
3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours. I mean, that's enough time. I mean, you know.
I spent an hour and a half rowing with the XI3 trying to get back to the ramp when I realized you need to do a float.
Rowing with the XI3.
Yeah, it was I went left when I should have went right.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing, dude. Jim, you have put people on notice. You have made people know that you are a premier big bass fisherman who can catch fish. I think every tournament I've ever watched you in, you've definitely had a fish above 22 inches in.
Yeah.
I can't think of one.
No, he always puts up big fish.
Yeah. Can you tell me one? Can you remember the last time you didn't catch a 22-inch fish?
Yeah,
I remember one place.
Lake Athens last year. It was 20 and a half.
Okay, so this is KFL. We're not talking about that right now. We're not talking about real foot. Real foot doesn't count. Okay. All right. And it's amazing. And Mr. Patron, man, if you people don't know Adam Patron, man, one, he made the 10 house last year. 2, the dude catches fish everywhere he goes. Almost cursed. Y'all almost got me. Case in point, 2 days in the state, 4 days in the state, 2 days before they brought him on a team, he goes out to Susquehanna, puts up 91 on best 5, 172 and 3/4 inches.
Heck, he caught fish on real foot.
And apparently, if you catch fish on real foot, you're a magician.
That's right.
Yeah. I think I lucked into some on that lake.
Hey, well, both of you guys are great anglers. Both of you have been fishing for a long time. Both of you know that part of this game is luck. Period.
Of course.
Skill's a huge part of it, but there's I don't know. I'd like to say probably it's probably, in my mind, I think it's 55-45. 55% skill, 45% luck.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that.
It's just
sometimes you're in the right place at the right time.
Yep. And you wiggled that bait right. Yep. Jim, I don't know if you guys didn't know this, but me and Jim were talking prior to the broadcast, and Jim told me he's going to teach me how to power shot. So if I add power shotting to my repertoire,
can you put a jig on that?
How's the emoji? Yeah. Jim, can you put a jig on that? Can you put a jig on the power shot?
No, I would like to fish a jig, but jigs don't work well in grass.
Yeah.
They get grass stuck on them all the time.
We could talk. We'll talk offline, not on this. I got some stuff for you.
Maybe turn me on. We
can make a jig work in grass. Trust me. I love throwing a jig. I figured out how to throw a jig and everything. I actually learned something the other day, not about jig fishing, but about Texas rig fishing. It was taught to me from the Whisper, and I'm gonna put it out here on KFL tonight. and some of you probably already know. Jim, you probably already know. Both these hammers probably already know this trick. So say you're fishing heavy riprap or heavy rock. And, like say you're fishing Texas rig, you get hung up a lot in rock, like heavy rock. If you take that worm weight and flip it upside down, you don't get hung up nowhere near as much. And I would say your hookup ratio goes up because, you're not constantly retying on new baits or new worms, new weights. But I just learned that. The Whisperer, the Fish Whisperer, Mr. James Quinn taught me that. Did you guys, obviously you guys knew that. I ain't gonna ask you, ain't gonna insult your intelligence.
Did it with a Carolina rig if I didn't have an egg weight.
Huh. You use egg weight for the Carolina rig?
Usually, but sometimes I don't have them. So, yeah, turn that weight upside down. You don't get hung up as much.
See, I told you these guys already knew it. So, Jim, I want to know, did you find what you found tournament day in practice?
Yes.
You did. So take me through your practice when you found that.
So I found it on Thursday. I went down the main creek of the lake, which in that lake surrounded on either side by lily pads. So I figured where the lily pads ran out, there might be some bass in the pads because it would be a potential area for concentration. In addition, I was constantly looking for brim beds because that's a pretty good thing to find. Caught a couple of bass in the pads, and then when I was moving on, I found the little magic spot. I didn't catch any fish on it. I just simply saw it. And I'm like, this has got the right recipe.
How big was this spot?
I could cast to either side. So it might have been 30 yards, 60 yards across. And it was only about 10 to 15 feet deep in a big arc right in front of me. Found it. I was already on top of it. So if there were any fish there, I'd run them off. So I said, well, this is a place to come day of the tournament.
Yeah, it looks like
it. Yeah, I mean, it definitely looked like it. Because,
yeah.
I think when we were talking to you live, I think you might have caught 2 or 3 fish while we were sitting there having a conversation with you.
Yep. I showed you all the 20, and I think I caught 2 more right after it. I caught one the first cast and one like the third cast.
Yeah.
You said you were sitting in a brim bed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How deep?
6 foot of water.
Okay.
And when I got there in the morning, it was unbelievable. Mark, I caught a couple of fish. I was having trouble submitting. Mark spoke to me on the phone. We were talking, and he says, how many fish can you catch in that spot? And I looked at my depth finder, and I'm like, I'll catch 10. I'll catch all 10. I mean, there were fish everywhere on my 360. I was like 1, 2, 3, 4. I said, it was unbelievable. And
Jim, I'll be upgrading to that 360 after this season. So, yeah, I'll experience that loveliness.
You will like it.
Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna go video game fishing and get the live, but I will do 360.
Well, you say you want to go video game fishing, but when a bass is sitting on the bottom, you are effectively video game fishing with 360, and you will see them when they're sitting on the bottom.
Jim, stop. That's not what we're talking about. The video game fishing is live. All right, 360 is not live. All right, people, you didn't hear what Jim just said. These are not the droids you're looking for. Strike it from your memory. Adam, so first and foremost, man, Adam, first tell everybody about your team's game plan going in.
So going in, I knew they weren't going to be able to pre-fish. He said they weren't going to get down till late Friday night. I happened to get Friday off. So I was like, hey, I'm going to run down and get a couple hours on the water. So ran down there and launched. And it was kind of just to go see what the river was like and figure out if it was running fast, slow. I knew nothing about the Susquehanna. So I launched, went upriver, and my game plan was literally just to try to find a color and a pattern in those 2 hours, see how they were set up. And it was my second cast when I caught a 17-incher. And I was like, it was set up perfect behind a rock. And I was like, okay, maybe it's a rock deal. Went to the next rock, caught another one. Pretty much stopped fishing at that point. Kept running up the river.
What'd you catch it on?
Realized that the river was just flowing too hard for us to try to fish from one launch. So completely got a hold of the team, said, hey, we got to do a float. and sat there that night in the hotel trying to figure out where to launch and where to take out. Tried to split up in 2-man teams for safety because none of us knew the river. And they agreed to do a float, so we figured out how to get the trucks parked, and that was a mess, but it happened. And yeah, we kind of winged it and launched from places none of us ever been, and planned about a 10-mile float for each team to cover about 20 miles of water.
So, who's the Bay State Attacks owner coach?
I think it's Mike Elrick.
Mike Elrick. Hey, Mike Elrick, would you say that bringing Adam Patrone on was a good idea? I know you're not here with us, and I don't think you're watching, but I would say hell yes.
Man, I appreciate Bay State Attack too. When I got that text that Thursday night, I was like, I wanted to be part of the KFL for that first season. I was looking forward for the Louisiana Hurricanes, and when they reached out, I was like, yeah, I'm all in. Let's do this. We'll figure out how to get me to Maine to go fishing.
So if you missed it,
6 hours for most of the lakes. And I was like, yep, sign me up. I'll be at the Susquehanna. Let's roll.
Nice. So listen up, people. He said none of his team were able. They told him they weren't going to be able to get out and pre-fishing. He had a few hours, went out, figured out that it was so was it a opposite of Sunside Rocks, or did it not matter?
So it was actually really specific of what you had to throw. So about 1 to 2 inches out of the current seam, coming around the rocks and right up against the rocks. So I'd land my jig. There you go.
Hey,
right up.
I watched you. I watched you. I saw it.
Pop it right off the rock. And if they were there, I mean, it was over. You didn't have to twitch it or anything. If they were there, they were there. They ate it. If they weren't, 3 casts and you rolled to the next rock.
Figured that out in what, like 20 minutes, you say? 30
so
minutes?
The jig I figured out the next morning. So I figured out I was throwing a cross style bait for pre-fishing because I had it tied on still from Reelfoot, actually. And
hey, great point, because most of us as anglers, we'll go fish a place. If we catch them, we'll leave those baits tied on. And when we hit the next place.
After Reelfoot, I loaded up the camper in Louisiana, met my family in North Carolina, packed up my house, and now we're sitting here. I'm actually at a KOA right now in the truck because we're still looking for a house and everything.
I was wondering. I was like, man, he said, "Hey, wife," he said to his wife, "I'm gonna go outside and do this interview." But you had a KOA in the truck, huh?
Yeah, sitting in the truck. People are staring at me right now, wondering what I'm doing.
people, that is the life of a. I mean, we're not gonna get off topic, but that is the life of an active duty military man, especially in the Army, Marines, or sea duty lifestyle in the Navy.
Yeah, I call it my hotel power wagon right now because I've spent a lot of tournament nights in this seat right here.
Oh, I do. I see a pillow over your right shoulder.
You got a pillow. You got all the Crotalus custom rods sitting in the passenger seat. You got every bit of gear and motor sitting behind me. I mean, no one can ride with me.
Dude, if you went out to my truck, it's the same exact thing. This is a testament, man. And people talked about it after the interesting tournament that was Reelfoot for the national championship for KBBT. People talked about it. It was like, hey, these KBBT guys were exposed. But which was funny was that, but prior to that, everybody from Tennessee said, "Oh, you're going to like the worst place, the worst river, or the worst lake." I'm sorry, in all of Tennessee. And you guys went out there and caught fish,
I actually enjoyed Reelfoot. I thought it was going to set up a lot like Caddo Lake and some of the Texas lakes and Louisiana lakes.
Oh, did you say Caddo Lake?
Mm-hmm.
So it looked like Caddo, but
you said it didn't. Okay, cool.
So, no, it did look like Caddo.
No, it looked like, but it didn't fish like Caddo.
No, completely different type of cypress trees.
Okay, cool. Because I think Caddo's the NC this year, right? For KBF. Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll be back in Louisiana in October for that one.
I'm going, and I was like, dude, you telling me it's Reelfoot number 2? Maybe I should get a refund.
No, there's fish and big fish in Caddo.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm gonna pick. Well, I probably can't pick. Are you going, Jim?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I can't pick neither one of your brains because both of you are fishing it.
Yeah, Caddo is kind of my leg. I love Caddo. I love fishing Caddo.
All right. Well, We're not talking KBF and cattle right now, but that hurts my feelings. I was hoping to get some information. I've never fished Louisiana at all.
Still hook you up with some information. Give me a call.
So I'm gonna say this real quick before we continue to go, because a person who I want to put out what they said wants me to say this. He wants me to let the Florida Copperheads know, hey, you got your asses beat, man. Just stop talking. Stop flapping your gums. Come out next week and fish. You know, that's what Clifton Allen wants me to let you guys know. Hey, you win some, you lose some. And, you know, it's about when you get knocked down, how you get up. So, you know,
Nobody's out of it.
Nobody's out of it. Pick Conrad up. Tell him he can stop crying. All right. He actually did a good job. He really did. He caught fish in a place he didn't get to pre-fish, and he caught at least 10. He caught a good number of fish in this place. So you did a good job, Mr. Benetti. All right, no need to keep crying about it. You can't do if you try to respond to everybody who talks shit to you. You're gonna be going at the world. All right, but you're gonna lose when you come to Norfolk. I'm just saying. Just saying. Anyway, so Jim, man, you found this special spot that was 60 yards wide, in which you didn't make one cast to. You just saw it. Yes, I'm assuming on 360.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't make one cast in there. You're like, this could be special.
Yep.
All right. So tournament morning. I know you fished live events before. I know you have.
Yep.
Was the feeling tournament morning any different that morning than a regular live event you've ever been in, or any other live event you've been in?
It really wasn't different than any other event. I mean, I went to that wasn't my starting spot. The other starting spot, because I had caught fish pads. I went there and it was just dead, and I stayed there for like an hour, hoping, poking around, seeing if I could find fish.
Excuse me.
And I had a plan, right? As a team, we had a plan. We sent Derek and Jared to one spot where Jared had found fish the day before. We sent Mark to a spot where I had gone and verified there were fish the day before. And then I went to the spot because I had three possible places where I was. There was the pads, there was the bed, and there was a long stretch of bank with nothing on it, with deeper water. And I had caught a fish there before, and it was in the shade. So my plan was A, B, C. Go work through my rotation.
A, B, C. I like it.
Right. And what we were hoping was one of the three groups of people, for lack of better words, one of the three of us, because we went three different spots, would land on the mother load. I'm the one that got lucky and landed on the mother load.
Well, Jim, I love how humble of a guy you are. And I know it deep down inside, it wasn't luck at all. It was.
Well, there was skill in recognizing what I had seen. I'll agree. But you also just said earlier that fishing is about, what is it, 45 or 55% luck?
No, 55% skill, 45% luck.
And so, I mean, I could have pulled up and the fish not been there at that time, right? I could have pulled up, made 12 casts, not caught a fish, and moved on and left the magic spot behind. But that little luck factor, that 45% kicked in, and I pulled up in first cast, I catch a 16-inch bass. Third cast, I catch a 17-inch bass, and it just went on from there.
It did. So how many fish would you say you caught that day?
30.
30 fish.
I've never caught that many fish in my life out of one spot like that.
Out of one, so all 30 of these fish came from one spot?
I spot locked. I had spot lock on. Mark called me and I said, dude, I have to stay here all day. I can't afford to let anybody come here. I'm going to just sit here all day and milk the spot for everything it's worth. And I stayed spot locked in that one spot.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I can say the most fish that I've ever caught out of one spot, maybe 8. Out of one spot. And that's probably because I usually move on, because I feel like the fish aren't going to keep biting in that one spot. And I'm talking about one spot. I'm probably talking about something that's 15 square yards. You're talking about you had 60 square yards. I don't know if that's a spot or more so an area. I don't know. Everybody has different definitions. 60 yards, I would think for me would be more of an area than a spot. But I've never found something like that though.
I mean, I never had to move the kayak, so
You never had to move the kayak.
no.
How long? How many hours? How many hours were you there?
Well, I stayed there until about 20 till 10, which is 11 your time, when you guys were going live on the Pride Network.
Okay.
And Mark, I knew that there was a high potential y'all were going to call me on the Pride Network. So, and there was a boat there, and the guy was watching me catch fish. He finally left. So I couldn't leave, definitely, as long as he was. So 20 to 10, I unlocked and I went fish some trees about 50 yards away just to give the spot a rest, because I wanted to try to catch fish when you guys brought me in, because I knew I couldn't keep. I was kind of trying to if you hit a spot like that too hard, you can kind of run that school of fish off.
You can dry it up. Yeah, you can run it off. You dry it up.
So I was pacing myself, right? I wasn't rushing to catch fish. I wasn't rushing to take pictures. I was trying to pace myself and let that school of fish stay. And I noticed like I'd catch 4 or 5 and then it would taper off. So I just give it a break. I take a breather, drink some coffee, and then give it a rest and then come back. But for that 20 minutes, I just left. I just went away because Mark told me that he said, they're going to be bringing you in, maybe even first. And I messed up because I come back in there, and when you guys started talking, you and Greg started talking, I made a cast. And I mean, that worm hadn't sunk to the bottom, and I caught a 20-incher. But I got in the boat before y'all brought me in.
No. Yeah, and you know what's funny about that? Before we get back to Adam for a second, what's funny about that is Marcus was messaging me. He was like, "Hey, Jim's got a fish. Y'all need to bring him in." I was like, I don't see Jim backstage. He's not in the feed right now. He's not backstage. I don't know what he did, but he's not here. I can't bring him on.
Yeah. So I tried running 2 phones. One linked to my other phone, and it was real staticky. And I didn't want to go on Pride Network and be the cause of a bunch of bad, interference. So I ended up hanging up and redialing in on my primary phone so that I had a really good connection. But by the time when I did that, the backstage was full, so I couldn't get in. And I kept trying, and finally I got in.
So I have one more question for you, Jim, and this doesn't mean that we're done with you. I just have one more question for you about your pattern that you located. So when you were pre-fishing and you saw this special spot, what's one thing to find a special spot in which you know that fish can set up, right? Did you see any of the bait fish, or did you see any of the the fish that the bass would be keying in on in the area?
Well, yeah, with 360, if you pull up on a brim bed, you could tell whether or not there's a brim in each of those beds.
So you saw a bunch of brim beds.
Yep.
So I'm assuming, I didn't see what you were throwing, but I would assume you were throwing some type of worm that was in a purple-ish color or a black and blue color.
Yeah, you're basically correct. Yep.
Beautiful. And for the people who are less adept at electronics, how would you describe a brim bed on your fish finder when you see it?
Well, it looks like there's a bunch of bowls in the ground.
Would you agree?
Just like a bass. I mean, the brim digs out a little bowl in the ground, except for like bass beds won't be closer together than about 6-7 feet because bass are territorial. Brim or not, they're just touching each other.
Would you agree, Adam?
Oh yeah. As soon as you go over it, you know what it is.
Yeah. Like the surface of a golf ball.
And this is KFL teaching you guys. These are 2 of the best that I know. These are 2 men. And I'm being 100% honest with you. And I have even more respect for Jim now because I see the beard. I see the beer choice he has, which is a Corona, and I love Corona. But these are 2 people who I have so much respect for, and I have labeled for myself as people that I wouldn't say nemesis, but I'd say are people who I want to beat. And coming from a sports background myself, and I played a bunch of sports, and I was plagued with being pretty good at every sport I played, but I was only really good at one, and that was basketball. And in basketball, I feel like to get really good at it, you had to play against people who were better than you, people who did things better than you. And I feel like these are two people who, one, have a skill set that I don't have, or have a knowledge set that I don't have. And these are two men that I super respect and I look at as people I want to be. And I hope you, both of you, take that as a respect and take that as a compliment, because that's the only way I mean it. These are two great anglers, man. And KFL will show that this year. This is the great thing about KFL is we're about to show you guys that we travel and we can beat you on your own body of water. It's ridiculous. So, Adam, tell me what you saw in your pre-fishing. Obviously, you caught fish. I think you said within the first 30 minutes, and you identified where they were setting up. But you said you didn't find the jig thing until the morning of. So, what did you see that led you to put on whatever jig, whatever color, whatever style jig you put on?
Yeah, well, so we launched and we were kind of fishing a real wide section of the river, and there wasn't any boulders that were you could actually see. You could see all the seams still from the underwater boulders. So we were fishing that for about the first hour, and then we could see the boulder field coming up. First boulder we picked up, I actually picked up a spinning rod with a cross style bait I was using as a buzz bait, and I pitched it up on the rock, and it dropped in, and I got smoked by like a 17-inch fish. So I said, okay, if they're there, I'm going to go to the next boulder and pick up my jig I had tied on. And I flipped it in there and just first second, just ripped it. It was the 19 I caught. Next boulder I went to, picked up the jig again, flipped it in there, and got a bite right off the bat. And I didn't put that rod down the remainder of the time. I just boulder hopped everywhere. I went to every boulder I could find on the river.
What was the status of your boat at the end of this float?
Oh, the boat is completely destroyed. So I knew I wasn't going to make it through the day with my makeshift fix for the XI3 on the bow mount for my Titan. If I hit a rock, because going down river, I was going probably 6 miles an hour. And, I had the motor as high as I could get it out of the water. I mean, you could hear my motor just spitting water in front of the bow. And, I hit a rock, and I ended up having to tie down. I had a tie down strap so we could get the kayaks back in the truck on my boat. And I actually lashed it down so I wouldn't lose it in the drink. Like, even Mike was with me. We got through our last bit of rapids, which was absolutely I've never gone through rapids in a kayak fully loaded, and I will never do that again. So we both made it through, and I think we both were surprised that we weren't in the drink when we made it through. It was bigger than I thought it was going to be. But at that point, my motor is literally just flopping on the side. If I turn left or right, you could see it go 3 or 4 inches in the air. I straight up limped it in. So, we'll be getting a new boat here soon.
But you made it in, and you got the W for your squad.
Made it in, got the W. Yeah, there's no way to fix it now. It's toast. Get Outdoors in North Carolina actually fixed my boat for me as I was traveling up from Louisiana to New York. And they did a great job, but I destroyed it.
Get Outdoors, North Carolina. Hey, people, if you're in North Carolina area, make sure you hit up Get Outdoors, North Carolina.
They did a good job. And they did it in like 12 hours so I could get back on the water, because I was going to try to fish a tournament in North Carolina when I was there. It didn't work out, though.
So, guys, before I bring on our guest, our surprise guest person this evening, I really want to know. I don't know. You probably already been asked this, man. I want honest opinions on what you expected for the KFL and what you saw after week 1. We'll start with Jim, our elder statesman.
Oh man, what did I expect? I mean, you mean as a league or as fishing as a team, or
just? Listen, man, KFL was a wild, crazy thought or idea, right? And what were your expectations for week 1, and what did you see now that we're past week 1 How does it like? Was it bigger? Was it smaller? Like, I just want to know what you thought, what you expected going into it, and now that we're done with week one and you've been through it, and the product that we got from it. How do you like? What did you see from it?
So I don't want to offend Adam or his team. Definitely not Adam, because I have a tremendous respect for Adam. But I heard multiple teams say that they showed up like the day before or the night before. I really expected people on these teams to take this incredibly serious. And I know everybody can't get off of work. But, we went to Arkansas a month ago, right before Realtree. And a couple of us went back to Arkansas. We went there Wednesday, scouted Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and prepared to fish for Friday. So I took this, when they asked me to be on the team, I said, if I'm going to participate, we're going to take this seriously, and we're going to go to win. And I think we proved that if you put a lot of work into, like you said earlier, Mr. Brown, every one of these teams has stellar people. There's no question about the talent throughout the league, right? I think the difference is going to be how much work you put into this and what kind of strategy you plan. And then you got people like Adam. I have to give Adam one thing. He's like magic at finding fish. And you got those key people like him that, I need 3 days on the water. He needs 3 hours on the water, right?
Proven. Just proven. Yeah.
And he basically did the same thing at Reelfoot. I scratched the first day. He caught fish the first day. He's proven that he's just better at it than I am. I'm going to look in the mirror and admit that. But I thought it was incredibly fun. I really like the camaraderie and the team part of this, right? The opportunity to not only fish as an individual, but to fish with your peers and to put together a strategy of, okay, you're going to do A, I'm going to do this, you're going to do that, and then we're going to adjust during the day. That was incredibly. I think it's an incredible opportunity.
Appreciate that, man. Absolutely, man. You got to sugarcoat nothing here. Bring it how it is. Tell me how it is. If you hated it, you loved it, whatever you actually thought, you can tell me. You know why? Because they can fire me, or I can get fired. And, I'll still have the same salary that I was making before. I'm doing this because I love doing it, and I'm doing this because I love the anglers, and this is just a bunch of fun. I won't get fired.
But keep in mind, I don't want to piss Mark Coates off, and he benches me. I like playing.
Hey, if Mark Coates benches you, we'll figure out a way to fire him from a job that he can't get fired from. We'll figure it out, because that's just dumb. Same question to you, Adam.
Yeah, so the difference between KFL, what I noticed, and it fully came out this weekend, is I'm used to going to those national events, and you're solo. You're breaking down the water. You're not telling people your secrets. You're finding those spots yourself, trying to protect the water. And then you go out for KFL, and you can finally call it. If you're not catching anything, you can call your buddy and be like, what are you doing? You're catching fish. As soon as you get on a pattern, instead of like hiding it to yourself, like, all right, I found a pattern, you're instantly on that phone. Hey, it's jigs behind rocks, 3 to 4 foot of water, fastest current you can find. You're giving that intel out. You're sharing it as a team aspect. When you're catching fish, your teammates, I had a teammate right there watching me. He's fired up. Everybody's just fired up throughout the whole day. That team aspect is just amazing, and you don't have that when you're just out there soloing it for a KBF or a Hobie or a Bass or any of those events. It just brought that team level to a whole. It's a game changer in kayak fishing, because you can communicate.
I feel like it's a whole different feeling behind the fact that like you said, both of you said, you're no longer fishing for you.
Yep.
Fish for a team. I feel like it's a whole nother feeling when it's like, man, if I don't pull my weight,
yeah, it pushes you to go further, faster, and harder.
Yeah. Like it's like I've definitely had those tournaments where I haven't had a bite in 2 to 3 hours. I'm getting down on myself. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I'm looking through the tackle box, and I'm telling myself, man, I got 2 hours left. I maybe look at the leaderboard and be like, I'm completely out of it. I could probably just get in the truck and leave right now. I'm out of it. Nah, that's like the stuff that goes through your head on a personal tournament. And if you're not man enough to admit that, I'll be man enough to admit it and say, I've definitely had those thoughts when you're in this format, I haven't had those thoughts. In this format, it's like, well, that can't even be a thought because I can't, like, everybody's caught fish. Everybody's putting in work. I cannot just leave and be like, oh, I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to put in any work.
That's the best thing. You know, your teammates are putting in that same work that you're doing.
Yeah, the grind is
even
real.
if they're not catching a fish, that can turn on in their spot the next hour, and you can go completely dead the rest of the day. So I mean, it's that aspect of the team. Like when I go fish in Massachusetts, I'm not going to get any pre-fishing, but I know my guys there will, hey, give me a call, tell me when, where, and what they're biting on, and I can go in there a little bit. You know, that knowledge that gives you that confidence about there and get that bite. So.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So originally, I was going to close out our interview and then bring on our special guest interviewer, but no, I want to keep you guys on with us. If you're good, you got some time?
Yes, sir.
A few minutes.
I got time.
All right, we're going to bring on our special guest star. Before I bring him on, people in the comments, I want you to tell me who you think the special guest star is. I'm gonna give you 22 3/4 of a second to put in the comments of who you think the guest star is. You get 22 3/4 of a second. And go. And I haven't said it yet, but you guys should know this on every broadcast I do. If you haven't shared this broadcast on your feed on Facebook or YouTube, you're wrong. And I will find you and I will talk to you about how you're wrong. I'm not a violent person at all. I'll just talk to you about how you're wrong. So just share the feed. Share the feed. Kyle Burns says he thinks it's Tyler Feaster. I'm very happy that you remember who Tyler Feaster is, Mr. Kyle Burns. And I'm not trying to insult you, but I seriously doubt a lot of people remember who Tyler Feaster is or remember his name. They probably remember the face and who he is, but they probably don't remember his name. Tyler Feaster is the man, the myth, the legend who brought us Pride Outdoor Network. He is the man who runs the Pride Outdoor Network. I said 22 3/4 of a second. I don't know how I'm gonna get to the 3/4 of the part of a second, but I'll say you got another 10 seconds, and Kyle Burns is the only one to post a response. So what that means is Mr. Adam Patron and Jim Louvier will both send you a lure because you're the only person who posted a response. Notice I said them two and not myself because my wife is in front of me and she'll be like,
I got a couple of used speed draws heading your way.
Some used speed draws. No, people, it is the one and only Mr. Ray himself, Mr. Brian Whitehouse.
What's happening, guys?
What's going on, Brian? How you doing?
Hello from Colorado.
From the beautiful Colorado, man.
Yeah, we just got home from doing we went walleye fishing all day long, and I don't think we kept rods in the water all day. We were hooked up from the moment we put in till the moment we get out. So long day, lots of sun, ready for a couple of cocktails.
How many walleye did you get?
I think we caught 25 or 30.
Did you keep any?
No, you know what? We tried to, but I took my kids out and, let them grow up a little bit more and keep them another time. So,
dude, walleye is still on my bucket list. Have you two gentlemen caught walleye before, Jim and Adam?
Nope, but I will when I'm up here.
I have. They put some in a couple of lakes in Texas, and I've luckily hooked into a couple of them. They're
where are you at, Adam?
Upper New York now.
Oh yeah, okay. They got some good walleye lakes. You might have to get closer to PA, but there's some good spots. But man, we had a mixed bag. We caught a 14-inch crappie, we caught a 14-inch largemouth, we caught a 14-inch rainbow, and we caught a whole mess of walleye. So it was a good day in the water.
I don't know what the slam is in that area, but that to me sounds like a slam.
It's pretty close. If we would have put a wiper in there, it would have been better. But I let my seven-year-old daughter and 9-year-old son reel everything in today. So. It's a lot of fun.
Did they enjoy it?
No, they love it, man.
Yeah, man. The kids love, especially at that age, they love the reeling in part. They don't love the grind part, but the reeling in part, they're all about it.
Yeah, they couldn't wait to be done with school, so they get out of the boat. They woke up early this morning, so let's go fishing. So
that's awesome.
Can't say no.
That's awesome. Hey, Brian, let me ask you a question, man. Were you able to tune in at all this past weekend on Saturday?
Yep. You know what? I watched on Saturday. It was on the KFL site, And then I also watched Sunday, but I guess that's a different league. But we had a lot of Rays pro staff guys in it, so we were checking in on them. And Chris from Rhode Island, that was about the craziest thing I've seen. Hopefully he doesn't keep his phone lock from now on when there's only a minute to go.
So I really appreciate you bringing that up because I meant to talk about that before I even brought everybody on. Listen, Chris Catucci, if you're watching or if you watch this later on,
and then
you need to get rid of
we sponsored the
Samsung.
Massachusetts Mauler, so we were pulling for him, but that was a great thing to see at the end of the round.
Yeah. Chris, you need to get rid of that Samsung because on iPhone, with your phone's blocked, you can still hit just the camera button and take a picture. Or maybe you can do it on Samsung and set it up so where you can just hit the camera button and take a picture. That's what you need to do. Or don't lock your phone on the water like Mr. Whitehouse said. Mr. Rays said.
We've all been there. We've all been there in that situation.
I'm going to tell you. So we did the call-out weekend. I had to fish against Matt Kasperick, and I called Greg Dozar, begging him to give me a hint on how to keep these fish from bouncing off the boards. And, so what we ended up doing was I took a video of it, and then when I found a spot where its mouth was closed, it was flat, I just screenshotted it. And that worked pretty good. Yeah. So I don't know if that was cheating or not, but that's what I had to do, man. Those smallmouth out here wouldn't close their mouths.
Yeah, man. Brian, the smaller fish, in my experience, the smaller fish, and I'll say when I say smaller, I mean anywhere from 12 inches to about 17 inches. They usually are the ones who are more feisty on the board. When you get into the bigger fish, they usually just lay there and wait for you to do something with them.
Yeah.
Not the Susquehanna smallmouths. That was a train wreck trying to take pictures.
Right?
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Not those and not Chris Catucci's fish either. Because that was a 20-inch fish that was just like, I think Derek Brundle wrote that fish and said, hey, man, act a fool. And that fish is like, I got you.
See those 20-inchers do that. It was
like, dude, wow. It flipped on his board and went the opposite way. And I was just like, wow.
I lost one this weekend. I had my board leaning uphill, and that fish managed to bounce off my board going uphill. How do they do that?
I don't. They figured out where it's like a fight or flight response. Hey, Mr. Whitehouse, your picture is frozen for us. I don't know if you can tell. Brian?
Yeah, no, I can't tell.
Yeah. Like you have this permanent smile on your face right now looking at the camera. you look super happy because it's stuck on that spot. I was like, this is a really happy guy. He loves this.
I'm always happy, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, you can't be happy. You cannot be happy. Mr. I don't want to be so formal saying Mr. Whitehouse. Can I call you Brian?
You call me Brian. You call me whatever you want, man.
I ain't gonna call you whatever.
Calls me Mr. Whitehouse. That's my dad.
Well, my wife has asked me a question real quick. Let me respond because I'm supposed to be cooking, but she's allowing me to do this right now. What'd you say, baby? 120? No, it needs to get up to about 130, and then we'll take it off. So I'm smoking some meat right now, but I'm talking to you guys. Anyway, we're gonna get past the meat. I still got time because the meat ain't up to where it's supposed to be. So, Brian, what did you think of the opening week, man? What did you think of opening week 1 games?
You know what? It was. I just kind of got into this whole kayak thing out here. Derek Brundle kind of introduced me to a lot of you guys here at KBBT, but this team event thing was awesome to see. I mean, I think my whole Facebook feed all day Saturday, it was just every single person that has friended me from the KFL community talking smack to somebody else, or, I was getting text messages from guys that I know on here saying, hey, we're going to go kick the crap out of these guys. I got 4 spots I'm giving out to my, the rest of my teammates, but it was something different. You guys had to share a little information, which definitely is not the norm, it seems, but it was cool to see. It's nicer to see 10 fish than 5 fish because you can get bigger gaps or they can get closer. One fish makes all the difference. So it was pretty cool to watch. We've been watching them every weekend.
Absolutely, one fish
You
makes
guys are
all the
just a
difference.
couple hours ahead of us. So, I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. You're already a couple hours into the broadcast, and I just hang out in my living room and eat breakfast and watch.
Yes, sir. We are 100% appreciative of everything that you and Ray's do for the KFL, man. And we're just trying our best to make KFL take off and to bring Ray's into the future with us, man. I could. This is what I'll say to you people who are listening. This is not because the man, the owner, the legend that is Brian Whitehouse, who owns Ray's Eyewear, is here. Is that, and this is what I'll tell you. This I'm sponsored by Amphibia Eyewear. I'm probably gonna get fired after I say this, but it's okay. I can't get fired from the Navy, so that's fine. When I went to fish with Greg Nosar up in Washington for the Potomac event, I say Washington, but it's actually Stafford, Virginia. He gave me a pair of Ray's eyewear. He's like, I'd never heard of them. He was like, dude, these glasses are awesome. You got to try them out, man. And I was like, all right, cool. And I was doing something I'd never done before, and I was hiking to fish. First off, Black people don't walk through the woods. That's not something we do. All right. There's a lot of spiders. There's a lot of snakes. There's a lot of things that can happen to you.
Thought that was Navy.
Yeah.
People are walking their dogs.
So I was just like, he was like, we got to hike through these woods. And then he was like, hey, man, we're going to walk through the river and fish for smallmouth. I was like, so first off, you got me hiking through the woods, bro. And then you tell me I got to walk through the water. I can't swim. You got me walking through the water. He's like, it's only like a 2 foot deep. I was like, dude, you can drown in 6 inches of water. So, but I'm just joking, people. I can actually swim, but whatever. And then he gave me these shades, and I had my Amphibia shades with me. And I was like, all right, well, I'll put these on. And when I tell you that the polarization on these glasses was amazing. I think he told me the pair that he gave me were like, I want to say he said they were $25-$30. And the pair of glasses that I had on were like $150 pair. And they blew them out of the water. Like I said, I'm probably gonna get fired from Amphibia. So that means Brian, I need a job. All right.
We always have room on our staff team. So,
but
I'm an avid fisher, but I fish in Michigan for salmon. I've been bass fishing, ponds since I was 5 years old. I put PVC rod holders on my bike so I could go from pond to pond to pond up in Michigan. And it's cool to be able to do something that we love to do. And it's our hobby. And we definitely, we field test everything vigorously. Something that we do on ours that nobody else really does is, the polarization is actually, so your lenses are here. A polarization is just a film that they kind of heat treat over top of it. And it rubs, everybody gets wet and they rub them like this. Well, ours, we actually put the polarization in between two pieces of polycarbonate. So you can't rub them off. There's high definition lenses on one end and the other. So it just makes your vision a little bit more clear.
Hey,
We're
Brian.
just lucky enough to be able to sell them we have such low overhead. So inexpensive. We don't need to charge $60 or $70.
Brian, let me ask you a question. Is that explanation you just gave, is that on your website?
Just right here.
Okay, that's why I was asking. I was like, don't give away the juice, bro. Like, don't give it away because somebody else can try to do it and they're gonna be like, oh, we invented. Nah, this is Ray's. You heard it here. All the witnesses, all the people watching, this is Ray's technology. So if you see some other people doing it, you need to hit Brian up and be like, hey man, somebody stole your idea. This is Ray's.
Hey, that's the best form of flattery right there. The more people that want to copy us, they're going to want the original anyways. So you're
absolutely correct. That is the best form of flattery. And I was just being honest, man. When I had those glasses, the level, the amount of I could see through the water was just ridiculous. absolutely ridiculous. And then my son took my shades and broke them. So I need to order me
Yeah,
some more.
if you ever want to go bed fishing, get your HD polarized lenses. You can see 12 foot down and you can see them on beds.
Well, Brian, I'm gonna hit you up here pretty soon because I need some shades and I need to know which ones I need to get. We'll talk about that offline so people can hear what I'm asking.
Yeah. We always answer, man.
Mr. Toby goes, I wear them from fishing to being on the bike. So Toby's a avid bike rider. He wears them fishing as well as riding his bike. All I see in the comments, Miss Brian, is that just how many people are just like they love your glasses, they love Rays, and they've switched to Rays. It's just up and down.
And you know, we can tell. I mean, the support we've had from the KFL guys and the KBBT guys, and just all the kayak fishermen in all these different leagues have been crazy. I mean, to the point it's stock because as soon as we get it in, it's out the door. Not something we like to have happen, but we didn't. We expected about 50% growth this year, and I think we're at about 500% growth. So that's really hard to keep up with. But if you go to our website, we're gonna have a new website launched here next week, and we are gonna be back with all of our stuff back in stock in full again. So.
Brian, I just
checking out the website and seeing stuff have been gone. It's because, we went through it fast. So,
Brian, I literally just got. I don't know if this will show, but 11 messages on my phone, and all 11 of them are about Ray's eyewear. All 11 of them. Hey, stop text if you're watching. Stop texting me. All right, ask him. Go to the Ray's website. Post your questions or buy some Rays. Go to Ray's website right now and buy them out. Everybody. If you just message me, go to rayseyewear.com. What's the actual website, Brian?
It's Rays Eyewear, spelled RAZE eyewear.com. Go there next week. That's where we'll have everything back up in stock. So go there next week. If you go there right now, you might be disappointed. I apologize, but you won't be disappointed if they're sold out. That means their quality and what they put out is awesome. So he's saying they'll be restocked next week. So go there next week. You'll be able to get what you're looking for. When we get off of this, Brian, we need to talk more in depth, you and I, so you can tell me actually what day and time, so I can make sure my order gets in before they get sold out again from everybody going there to get them. You got it, buddy.
This has been amazing, Brian. Did you catch the numbers from how many people?
You guys had 35,000 viewers or something on the first day?
35,000 viewers, first day of KFL, watching Adam and Jim do their thing on the water.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, the exposure we've got from you guys has been great. Everybody's always got something positive to say. I wish there were more negative things to say to us, just so we could, if there's something wrong, we can fix it. But everybody's so dang nice,
Hey, everybody, you're so nice to Brian. Be nice to me, all right? Because y'all ain't that nice to me. I get a lot of not so nice things. So be nice to me as you are to Brian. All right. Obviously, you won't say nothing bad to Jim, because Jim is like a god amongst bass fishermen. But
I didn't see Jim with his hairspray on his lures this week. I saw it back in the first KBBT, but I didn't see him up there spraying his lures this time.
I'm not too sure I needed to spray them very often this time. I was having a lot of luck.
He's like, I don't need no juice for him this time.
But if you don't mind me taking a second, so they gave us Ray's eyewear, some sunglasses when I was at the 8 House, and I wear prescription sunglasses because I have prescription glasses normally. And I forgot my prescription sunglasses in the truck, but I had the Rays in my pocket. And my prescription's not that bad, so I said, well, I'll just try these out. Those really are phenomenal sunglasses.
Awesome, man.
I
stay in my boat everywhere I go.
And you do. I do make some for guys that got prescription glasses. They go right over top. And I'm telling you, I've seen a lot like the Cocoons and some of these other ones. And, when you put them on, it looks like you just got out of the eye surgeon. Well, we made ours a little bit cooler, a little bit more hip, so it doesn't look like you're a blind guy walking down the street. But if you go on there, they're called OTGs. There's a small and a large. The measurements are on it. So if you want to try them out, reach out to me or just, put an order, put a note. If you got a question, I'd be happy to help.
And I want everybody watching to know that none of this, and I promise you, I'll tell you, I'll tell you the truth, man. None of this is
I got
scripted.
my neighbor kids out here with me right now.
None of this was scripted. Nothing from Jim, nothing from Adam, nothing from Brian was scripted. So the testament you just got from Jim and Adam both was just something they wanted to tell you about how their experience with raised. I legitimately am sponsored by a different sunglasses company, but this dude's sunglasses blows them out of the water. And I'm okay with that. You know why? Because I feel like the sponsors that I have are people that I believe in. And Brian, I want you to know you took my belief away from Amphibia Eyewear. So, but that's not me talking trash to Amphibia Eyewear. They're great shades, great glasses. They do what they're supposed to do. But hey, if you're watching Amphibia, I resigned. I quit. All right, I quit. I just gave you my 2-second notice.
That's happened with too many people. I mean, old Clapback himself, Siddiqui, Derek. Derek Brundle's one that jumped on and kind of got me introduced to you guys. But it's happened way too many times already, and I kind of feel bad, but deep down, I don't really think I do. So.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, but deep down, you really don't. That'd be like Adam saying, "I feel bad that I won this tournament." Because I have a couple people who I talk to or are friends with, but deep down, I really don't feel bad. Thank you. I appreciate this W.
So I got to ask. So Adam Patron, you just got put on a team Thursday, correct?
Yeah, Thursday.
So somebody had to go out and scrounge for the bottom of the barrel to get Adam Patron on their team. I would have thought he would have been one of the top picks, man.
Well, I was with Louisiana Hurricanes when I was down there. And then when my job moved me up here, I kind of had to say bye to them. And then Bay State Attack was gracious enough to get a hold of me when I got up here. So,
okay, they should have just given you gas money to keep going back and forth.
I'll tell you, I threw a party when I heard Adam was moving to New York.
Appreciate it, Jen.
You threw a party?
Oh, hey, he was on my competitor team.
Yeah, I mean, Adam was on in his conference.
That's right. They lost their best player. What do I say?
That'd be like Aaron Rodgers finally leaving the NFC North.
Yeah.
Well, I've watched you a lot, Adam, and I've seen you catch a lot of fish, and I've seen you move through brackets and be all right, man. So
appreciate it.
I've watched Jim a lot. I mean, like I said, I get up in the morning and we watch the broadcast, and the great part is we can get on there and talk a little bit of smack, and whoever's doing the broadcast will kind of relay it over to them, and it's a cool way to communicate with everybody on the water all over the U.S. In a Bassmaster tournament or an MLF thing or something like that. And this is a lot more closer community of people, and it's fun. It really is a lot of fun for us.
Absolutely. With week one in the books, the losing teams in the books, the winning teams in the books, week two on the horizon, just 4 days from now, 4 or 5 days from now. What's today? Today's Monday, right? So 4 days from now. People, I want to know what your picks are for the matchups for this week. The odds are out for the matchups this week, by the way. I don't have them right now, or else I'd bring them up, but I saw somebody in the comments say with the odds being out for week two. And I'm sorry.
Do you guys need a bookie for these odds?
I don't know if we can say that on air, Brian. We're gonna talk about this off air. We'll handle that outside of it. But,
no reason in particular.
But I look forward to it. Jim, I'll say this right now, Jim, and this is completely outside of anything we've talked about. for me, you have been the one matchup I've had the entire time I fished our sister section, which is KBBT. I say sister because we're KFL, so they're the little sister, which is KBBT. You were the one matchup I faced against that made me the most nervous, that made me the most apprehensive, and I lost, so it made sense, I guess. But I'm coming with it. So if we make it to the point to, well, I'm sorry, when we make it to the point to where it's Lone Star Bandits up against Norfolk Privateers, I'm sorry, bro. I'm coming back with it with vengeance. It's gonna happen. Bay State, I hope you make it past everybody else because I'd like to face you guys too. I'm just saying. And Brian's is gonna be in the background, just like you know the like Pink. No, not Pinky, but like the brain. Just like this is all according to plan.
Yeah, I want to make sure that every player is wearing Ray's eyewear.
Yeah.
I've been trying.
Yeah. I mean, you see it when Greg talks. He's got a big board with the Rays eyewear all over. Hey, and we are so appreciative, man. I'm being 100% honest with you, Brian. We are so appreciative of everything that Rays does for KFL. We could not be more happy with what you do for us, and our job is to introduce as many people to the awesome product that you have as possible.
You know, I don't know about Adam, but before I left the 8 house, they had some extra pairs. I grabbed the second one.
Send them to me.
I mean, you're sending me some?
Jim, send them to me.
Yeah, so I tell you, I have 2 vehicles, and every once in a while I forget my sunglasses in the other one. So what I've learned to do is keep a pair of non-prescription sunglasses in the glove compartment for emergency. So now I got Rays in both vehicles, and when I need them, they're there, and I love them.
Well, I'm sure there was a ton because I think Derek gave him a whole bunch of them for the 8 house. And this was before I even knew about KBBT. We just started getting into it. And then I sent a big box down to Todd Patrick and Eric Siddiqui. So I don't even know how many were in there, but I'm sure there's probably 25 or 30 pairs going around down there.
Well, there was more than because I got 2 of them.
Yo,
Good, man.
Todd.
Can't thank you enough for
Nobody more deserving.
the 8 house. It was great.
No, I'm mad. I'm mad as hell right now. Todd.
You got to make the 8 house, and I bet you there'll be some more there this year.
Oh my God. Oh,
Just leave. You just keep my bedroom where it was.
He did it to me. People, I should have made the 8 house. I lost in the lap. You know, we ain't you bringing up some sore stuff, Brian. You bringing it up.
You know, I will say this. So I normally don't look at the score when I'm fishing, right? I always say fish the lake. Don't worry about your competitor. When I was fishing against you, Robert, I looked at the score, and you were closing on me big time, and I actually got real nervous. Cam will call me and says, "You got to calm down. You got to calm down." And I go, "He's catching me. He has the capability to beat me."
I really appreciate that, Jim. I try my best to emulate all you great hammers. It's all a lie. I don't actually know how to fish. Every fish I catch is actually just jumped into my net.
You forget, I've seen you live, buddy. You can't play that on me.
They're all foul hooked.
They're all. Hey, first off, don't you put that view out there, Mr. Brian. They're not foul hooked. They just jump into the net. All right.
Hey man, I don't care as long as they're in the boat.
Listen, man. We don't do things here in KFL like everybody else in kayak fishing does them, and I'm so happy about that. We're not trying to follow trends. We're trying to set our own trends. And the anglers that I have met, the anglers that are a part of this are awesome. The sponsors we have that have come on board, like Mr. Brian Whitehouse, are awesome. They actually have products that are actually good. This KFL has not been something, or KBBT. I know this is not KBBT, and I was told to stop talking about KBBT, but you know what? Fire me. The people who come on board with this, we believe in them. Their product is good. We use it. So it means something. I am ecstatic to be able to do these interviews, to be able to do these broadcasts with every last one of the anglers who come on board. I would have never met Mr. Jim Louvier. Did I mess it up? I think I messed it up. Louvier. No, Jim Louvier. Got it. Mr. Jim Louvier and Adam Patron, Brian Whitehouse. These are people I never like. Greg Nosar, Mark Coates. I can go on and on about all the anglers I would have never met had it not been for this platform. And this platform has, from day one, been about the anglers. And by him bringing in sponsors that want to be a part of this, that have products that actually work and not just presenting money, you should know when you come into this thing, it's a family, even though, every family has dysfunctional family members. And when we meet on the water, we're dysfunctional because I don't like not a one of you when we meet on the water. I love you, Adam. I love you, Jim. But when I meet you on the water, I hate both of you.
I'll tell you this. Just being able to watch, you get to start to see some of these guys got some different personalities. And like each week, it looks like their personalities are coming out a little bit more and a little bit more. And you got some guys that are wound up like a toy, and you got some guys that just played it cool all day. And it's great to see all these different personalities come out and clash. It's great to see a little smack talk and a little humble pie being served from time to time. But it's it is definitely a lot of fun to watch.
And then like Greg Crass, I never would have met that dude. Christopher Catucci, I never would have met him. I haven't met them in person, but never had an opportunity to talk to him. And those are like, dude, Rhode Island Rebels are probably my favorite team when it comes to the characters, the men themselves.
Yeah, it's too bad they'll have to go 0-2 after Saturday. But
hey, Greg, 0-2 after Saturday, bro, because you're facing Bay State, and Adam has something to say about it. Jim, who you got this week?
Oh, we have Southeast Texas.
Southeast Texas.
So when I hang up with you, I'm going to hook the boat up to the truck, and I'm going to spend more doing my thing, video game fishing.
You got live?
No. Just trolling around the lake front. I'm going to go refamiliarize myself with the entire lake.
Oh.
We're going out, at least 3 of us, Wednesday. We're taking this seriously.
I mean, Jim, I feel like every team is taking it seriously. And when you brought up something very close, near and dear for me earlier, when you said you guys went there like a month before, and then you went there like X weeks before. Us on Norfolk Privateers have done that too. Our matchups this weekend, and we went probably 3-4 weeks ago to the lake. We went, a couple weeks ago to the lake. I'm going soon to the lake. This thing is serious. I want to win, bro. I want to win, people. Jim wants to win. Adam wants to win. Every person on every team wants to win, and every person on every team wants you to know who they are. Besides me, because you know who I am. I'm Jig Master. All right. And I actually throw
that's
jigs.
the ultimate trophy, because you got to count on everybody else catching fish right along with you. So it's not just you; it's you got to teach a little bit too.
Everybody already thinks I can fish, so that means I don't have to catch a goddamn thing because everybody else catch everything because they already think I can fish. So I'm good to go. Right? I'm good to go.
You got to remember that scoreboard. This time they got a scoreboard.
This time, this is like a mixture between MLF and Bassmaster, and I love it. I love it. And I'm jealous that Adam got to catch all those smallmouth bass, those big smallmouth bass. If you didn't see his bag, go look back at his bag from week 1. I've only got one smallmouth in my life, and it was from when Greg made me walk through the woods and walk through the water, both things that black people don't do. And all my family was just like, we saw your YouTube video that you did. What's wrong with you? You need to come back. This is an intervention. and I was like, "Hey, listen, I'm a fisherman. All right." He told me he was going to take care of me, and I didn't die from the crazies in the woods, so I'm good to go. And I caught my first smallmouth. It was only 14 inches, but I don't care. I caught my first smallmouth, and I'm hooked.
Yeah. My first one on a Susky was a 16-inch. You would have thought I caught a whale. I was so excited. I've never been so pumped up.
Dude,
so long.
yeah.
It was crazy.
They
If you
hit
haven't
like a
caught
marlin, don't they?
if you haven't caught a smallmouth,
Oh, man.
you should definitely catch one.
Go catch a smallmouth on a little square bill and see how that feels.
And word on the street
It
is
feels
that
like somebody just dropped a log on it. You gotta try to get it out.
the word on the street is that the Susquehanna smallmouth are a different breed. That's the word on the street.
Man, they get in that current, and you think you got a 5 to 10 pounder on every time. It's crazy. It was fun.
Comes up and it's 14 inches.
Yeah, you pulled into the boat, and you're like, oops.
Oops.
Every time I set the hook, I got a big one.
Oops.
Nope.
It's like pulling a cobia into your boat. Yeah,
I
oops.
straight went Ike and Ellie on everyone I caught. So
You went Ike.
I went Ike. I was screaming like a little kid. It was awesome.
My one experience with a smallmouth, I was
You
fishing.
went Ike? Okay. Go ahead, Jim.
My one experience with a smallmouth, I was fishing brim on a 5-weight fly rod, and I caught a 3.5-pound smallmouth on that rod. That was pretty.
A 5.5 pound?
No, 3.5.
Oh, 3.5 pounds.
It was a 5-weight fly rod, very
Oh,
soft.
5-weight fly.
Caught
Okay.
a 3.5-pound smallmouth. It took a long time to get that thing in.
On a fly rod, I would think so. That was probably a lot of fun.
Fishing right there.
Well, guys, people. I would like to start off with you, Mr. Brian Whitehouse, Mr. Ray's himself. If you didn't hear earlier, I need a job first and foremost. Second, no, all joking, all kidding aside, man, we are so as KFL, we're so ecstatic, so appreciative of everything that you do and you've done for us. We're very happy that you've come on board, and we hope that we are delivering the return on investment that we should be delivering.
It's become a hobby for us, so it's good fun. We love it, and yes, way more than what we expected.
Absolutely. And I like having you on the feed. So the next KFL tonight, when we're doing our pick'em for who's going to win, I might just have to bring you back on. You know what I'm saying?
I got all the answers. I got all. I know all the. I've been watching all these guys. I got a board over here. You know, obviously, Massachusetts is probably going to always win.
Nope.
That's
At least one team, Bay State.
That's the Rays team. Look at the back of those jerseys. That's our team.
Well, you gotta start sponsoring Mr. Patron because they're going to be in trouble.
You better
on every one of these shirts by the end of the year.
You better put some faith in Jigmaster, because I got a bone to pick with both Dave and Buster's and Matt Conant. All right, I like Kenwood.
You talking about Papa D?
The rest of the team's good. Dave and Buster's, Derek Brundle himself. That's Dave and Buster's, all right? Everybody should know it's not Derek Brundle, it's Dave and Buster's, all right?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to bust that ass when he faces me. All right?
I might know some top secret information about them this weekend.
Hey, you better ask Derek what happened on, what lake was that? The one in South Carolina? Oh, the one behind my head. Hold on, what is that? Ask Derek what happened on Lake Murray. All right, ask him what happened on Lake Murray. I got that ass. I should have had. I was in first for a lot of it on both days, but almost doesn't count. Whatever, I don't care. Dave and Buster's, if we face y'all in the playoffs, you're going down. Matt, I love you, I like you, but still going down because you're a part of the A team. Ken Wood, I have nothing negative to say about you because you're just a guy I like. And there's animosity, there's love. We do it. Our matchup, which is Norfolk Privateers, our first week's matchup is against the Carolina Casters. And I want to say this on live so everybody's listening and hears. And I think Stephen Bell's watching. Hey, we haven't been contacted by the casters about any dinner or hanging out or anything like that. We would like to hang out Friday night before the matchup on Saturday. So hit me up, man. We're going to hang out. We could talk, eat some food. I could talk trash and tell you how bad I'm going to whoop that ass. But and Brian's behind me now too because he just hired me. I don't know if you heard him when he said it. You're hired.
Yeah, I've had a job posting for a month and a half. I ain't had one phone call yet. So come on out.
Well, you put the wrong number up. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that retirement's coming soon.
I know.
I don't think I've been that far.
It definitely is, Mr. Patron. We actually just traded for Jim Loubier and Adam Patron. They're announcing tonight that they're joining the Norfolk Privateers. Sorry, Bay State. Sorry, Lone Star. But both of them have decided to join the Privateers. And we're sponsored by Ray's Eyewear.
I didn't even know that was a team.
Me either. You know? We just created a team. It's all good. It's all well and good. Not all jokes aside. Seriously, Mr. Brian Whitehouse, we love everything you do for us, and we're happy to put your name on everything that is KFL.
We love it, man.
Jim Louvier.
That's right.
Yeah, I got it right.
Got it.
I got it right. Adam Patron, week one's players of the week. Both of them killed it. I think this week was the first time I ever seen Jim stumble a little bit. He knows what I'm talking about. I wish he would have stumbled when we faced each other, but it didn't happen. That's okay. It's okay because I want to beat Jim on his home water. And
I'll be honest. Yeah, I wasn't really upset about stumbling this weekend because we got to get ready for Louisiana, and I got to lose in KBBT. I can't win it because I got to go scout Louisiana. So for me, it was when do I lose? Because Louisiana KFL is more important than KBBT in my mind, and I got a scouting arrangement set up for a couple of weekends from now. I needed to be out of KBBT anyway.
Hey, the jerseys are dope. By the way.
Yeah,
I dig the jersey. It's really good.
We were sitting around one night in a team meeting, and I got online and found some jerseys and kind of laid this thing out. What are y'all thinking? For the most part, it stuck.
They're really good. They're really good. Adam said because I'm living in a KOA, I'm not putting my jersey on. Y'all can KMA
this weekend. Mine's en route.
Oh, that's right. He's only been on the team for like 48 hours or some shit like
they
that.
were great. They're nice enough to lend me a jersey. So, and Bay State's got an awesome jersey. I love it. Looks good.
What did you do? You played this weekend at one that said to be announced on the back?
Hey, I had a life vest on. You can see who it was.
He played in a jersey that said Ray's Eyewear on the back.
No, it just said XL.
It just said XL. Well, gentlemen, I appreciate you guys for coming on with me and just talking fishing, man. Like I said, we do things different here. We're not following any game plan. We're not following any blueprint. We're doing what we want to do. And I appreciate you guys. It's been fun. It's been awesome. And I look forward to beating both of your teams.
Maybe.
And I look forward to my new job I have at Ray's Eyewear. You heard the Navy? You're fired, Navy. All right.
Hey, you know we still got to have that Navy versus Army matchup.
We do, actually. We do. You're gonna lose.
Hey man, this is Colorado Springs. This is a military town.
Oh, I know.
We got all the bases out here.
Yep.
That's true. We got
years I've been trying to get there, so I'll be actually retiring out that way. So
you're retiring soon, right?
I'm over 20 now.
Yeah. I'm not over 20 yet. You old ass man.
So I was never military, but I moved out here. I was the golf pro at the Air Force Academy, so I was DOD for 4 years.
Oh, smoking like a. All right. So I love you guys. My wife tried to take over and do everything. She got about to burn the house down. We're about to die. Brian, I may not have a job anymore because I might not live past tonight. Jim, Adam, love you guys. This
right,
is
I'll catch you
KFL
funnies.
tonight. KFL tonight. Hey, look at Friday Funnies. I might be in them because I might be dead. Love you guys. KFL out.
See you later.
All right.